Hey everyone, welcome back to Career Clarity, the show where we explore real stories behind career paths that help high schoolers make smarter, more confident decisions about their future. Today, I'm joined by Ric Militi, the CEO and founder of Innovision Marketing Group, one of the most distinctive full-service marketing firms in the country. They're known as the anti-agency. They've helped clients like Valley View Casino and Corona to build powerful brands and, more importantly, to grow. Rick's firm has also been recognized as the best place to work in Southern California, which says a lot about the culture he has built. But before we dive into all things marketing and entrepreneurship, Rick, welcome to the show. Can you introduce yourself and share a little bit about your personal background?
Sure, Natal. Thank you for having me on, and hello everyone who's listening. My background has been in advertising and marketing my whole life. I started when I was in my early 20s, and I've been enjoying a very exciting and successful career. You mentioned that I previously worked on some major brands like Corona and Pennzoil, Neutrogena, some major brands, and I was the president of a very large agency. And then we started this agency back in 2012, and it's been a really great road to travel on. We created this agency known as the anti-agency philosophy. It's a service model that we use, and I have a tremendous team here. So the culture is fantastic. Probably what I'm most proud of is the culture here. Everyone who works here really loves working here and really loves marketing. So excited to answer any questions I can answer for you, and get ready to get started anytime you're ready.
Yeah. Wonderful. That says a lot about the culture you built. And just so you mentioned anti-agency. So what exactly does that mean in the marketing world?
Well, it doesn't mean we don't like advertising agencies. Actually,
Yeah.
we are an advertising agency, but our service model is called the anti-agency. And it's
Okay.
because we are going kind of in an opposite direction of what a lot of traditional advertising agencies service model looks like. For example, a lot of advertising agencies, they charge by the hour or by the quarter hour. We
Mhm.
don't, we have a flat fee we charge our clients so that we don't have to track our time. And that way they feel very comfortable calling us, talking to us, and they know their price is going to be the same no matter how much they talk to us or how often they call us or how much
Mhm.
work they request. It's a great service model. We also are make sure we're always available. We're hyper communicators, so if someone reaches out to us, we get back to them right away because communication is so important right now. So we spend a lot of time focusing on great communication, and so it's really all about delivering a five-star service model to our clients, and that's what the anti-agency is.
Got it. Got it. Okay, let's take it back one step. So, as a high schooler, did you already know that marketing was what you wanted to do and you wanted to build a company like Innovision, or what path were you already headed on?
Well, back when I was in high school, there was advertising was very different than it is today. There was no internet. There was
Mhm.
no really. There was cable was just becoming introduced into the market. It was a very new frontier in advertising. It's still developing so many things. As we all know now, the world has changed again dramatically, and so now we live in a digital world. But when I was in high school, yeah, I knew I wanted to be in advertising. I really loved the ability to think in strategic terms and how to persuade people to buy things or develop certain habits. So there was a really interesting psychology and sociology level that I enjoyed about it,
Mhm.
and it was also fun and creative and exciting. So there was all these great things you get to do in advertising, but just like any other job, you have to do what you're expected to do. And in our case, it's provide clients a return on their investment for their products or their services that they sell.
Mhm. Got it. So I'm aware of your story. So your story of how you were a high schooler and how you went from college to completely building Innovision. So tell all our audience just a little bit about your story and what kind of a person you were and where you were brought up.
Well, I was brought up in Los Angeles. I was originally from an immigrant, originally from Italy, and so I had to work very hard when I was younger to make ends meet. Uh, I did enjoy marketing, and it came very naturally to me. So I became successful at a fairly young age, working for a very large car dealership in Los Angeles, and helped them build a very successful division of their car company. And by the time I was 30, I was able to have enough money to open my own advertising agency. So I
Mm-hmm.
started that, my first agency, and we specialized in the entertainment industry. So
Mm-hmm.
we had some really great clients. We had their part of Universal Studios, which is called Universal City Walk, as a client. We had Warner Records, what is the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, which is also known as the Academy Awards. So we had some really great entertainment clients. And then that agency, we were doing very well, and we had about 10, 15 people.
Mm-hmm.
I got approached by a very large brand agency called Eisenman Johns and Laws, and they wanted to acquire my company. And what that meant was they really wanted me to go work for them and bring my clients over to them. But at the same time, I learned that if I did that, none of the people that work for me would be able to keep their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I declined. I said, no, I don't want to do that to my team and the people that I work with. About a year later, they came back and they said, okay, why don't we hire everybody in your company and we'll acquire your agency? And I said, no, that sounds like a good deal. So we all went over there and we all have learned a lot about big brand advertising. And I got to work with some great people over there. And that agency eventually got sold.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I became interested in a lot of analytics. The world has evolved, and now we have you know, this agency that we have now, which has 12 very different successful divisions,
Mm-hmm.
and quite a few people working here now.
Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
Wonderful. So, was there a specific moment when you decided to become an entrepreneur? Because a lot of people stick to the traditional 9 to 5, especially in marketing. So, when did you decide that entrepreneurship was your thing?
Well, I knew I wanted to work in an advertising agency, and I don't know that I had a chance
Mm-hmm.
to really understand how to get into that market when I was younger. I didn't really
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Right.
my solution was, well, if I don't know how to get a job at an advertising agency, or no one's going to want to hire me because I didn't have a degree,
Right.
and if I did, I would have had to really kind of break in at an older age into the advertising agency business, and none of it made sense to me. And so
Mm-hmm.
finally, I said, I'm just going to open my own advertising agency and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so I just, out of the blue, found a location, started working with some clients, and grew the business. And so it was a very entrepreneurial move, but I don't know that I had a choice. It
Mm-hmm. Right.
really
Right.
was my only choice. If I wanted to make
Understand.
it, I had to do it myself.
Got it. Okay. So, any of the high schoolers who are watching this, would you say that it is important to take the traditional route of going to college, getting a degree, and then following your marketing path? Or do you think it is in a creative industry like that, it's important to just find your own path?
I think finding your own path is always important. And I'm always going to
Hmm.
say to young people, do what your passion is, because that's what you're going to
Hmm.
do best.
Right.
The degree, we look at a lot of resumes. We hire a lot of people now.
Hmm.
Um, First of all, it would be really hypocritical of me if I said I only want people with degrees, because
Right.
I didn't have one. So we don't make that a prerequisite. We
Hmm.
do look at it if they're right out of school and they have a marketing background, we let them come in as an entry level, and we love it.
Hmm.
And quite honestly, we have to teach them everything anyway, because school you learn theory, you don't really learn
Hmm.
how it works in the real world. So a lot of the young people say to me that they learn more here in 2 months than they did in 4 years in college. And I think
Right.
it's because you're getting paid and you focus a little bit more, and as I say, you're shooting real bullets in the real world. So it's not like pretend in college. You make a mistake, well, no big deal. Here you make a mistake, it costs someone quite a bit of money. So they're a little more careful, they're a little more focused, but we really only hire um, people that are super positive, super enthusiastic about what they're doing, have a lot of energy, and really, really excited about working in marketing. And I think that that's a big part of it, is your attitude. If you
Got it.
have to have a good, positive, exciting attitude.
Right.
The other advice I'd give young people is don't job hop.
Hmm.
Job hopping is a
Right.
very dangerous strategy. Yeah,
Yep.
you might be able to make a few dollars more every time you jump from one
Right.
job to another, but you don't build trust and you don't build loyalty that way.
Got it.
And that's what ultimately is going to make you successful in your life.
Hmm. Yep. Yep. So, when we're talking about entrepreneurship, and recently there's been a hike in a lot of teens wanting to start their own business, but don't really know what that means. So, what's one thing about entrepreneurship you wish someone told you earlier?
Well, it's a really good question. I think probably that failure is okay. I think
Hmm.
originally when I started several, I had other businesses, when you make a mistake or you fail, you feel really terrible. But now I look at failure as a learning opportunity, and I
Hmm.
look at it as an opportunity to figure out different solutions, and so you don't do that again, and you become more aware of what not to do. Because
Hmm.
sometimes not doing something or not is more important than doing it.
Right.
So that is a very important lesson, I think, is know that it's okay to fail.
Got it. Yes.
Mhm.
So walk me through how Innovision really got off the foot. So I know that one of your very first projects was with Valley Casino, and
Mhm.
how that really helped you get off the foot with Innovision, and what place you are in 13 years after starting Innovision.
Well, we started with 4 people, and
Hmm.
if you include our Innovision Digital Marketing Group, now we have almost 100 people.
Wow.
So the world is very different. I think that we had one client,
Hmm.
and we understood the value of our own brand. And there's so many things that go with brand. Uh, but when you start a business, you have to know who you are, what your mission is, what you
Hmm.
want people to think about you, um, and how you're going to make that happen. Not only when you have 3 people, but when you have 100 people,
Hmm.
and make sure that nothing changes, because that's really where a lot of companies fail, is
Hmm.
they get large, they grow, and they lost their sight on what their core beliefs are. They lost
Right.
sight on what they believe is most important to their customers or their own brand. And
Hmm.
so that's a very, very important thing to know, is that you got to keep everybody who works in your company on the same page as far as what the brand is, how to treat customers, how to treat each other.
Hmm.
We have our philosophy is we put our team members first, because we know if we put our team members first, they will take good care of our clients.
Correct.
So they're happy, our clients are happy. So it's a very good culture, and it's a nice ecosystem that we've developed here. So yeah, we started with 4 people, then we
Hmm.
got into a couple of new clients, we got more clients, and then we started seeing the world change, right? Digital
Yes.
technologies became introduced, so we started expanding our services, developing divisions that we felt we could do. We have an all in-house philosophy. So we don't hire any freelancers, we don't hire any brokers, any outside vendors. We do everything in-house. So we have, um, you know, 2 buildings that are very large
Yes.
where everybody works, and we come to work every day. There's no remote. We don't allow
Yep.
remote working at our company. It has to be here. And I have to tell you, young people are really understanding the value of in-office work, because they're learning their social skills. Because remember, we're as animals, we're very social people. We're
Correct.
social animals. We want to be around people. We don't want to be alone. And
Yes.
so we work better in groups. And that's a scientific fact. That's just not me saying that.
Yep.
So in groups, we're gonna do more. We're gonna build teams. We're gonna
Hmm.
build cultures. We're gonna build great advertising product, and so we have no remote working,
Hmm.
and so then we started growing. We have 12 divisions.
Yep.
You can probably go to our website and see all of them, but we have a digital division. We
Right.
have we handle influencers. We have a social media division.
Hmm.
We have a video production division. We have our own studio. We have our own talent agency. We
Wonderful.
have our own public relations department.
Hmm.
So we have multiple services, and
Got it.
every one of those is run by a team of people. I
Hmm.
don't micromanage anything.
Right.
I put people in charge, and I let them do what they do best.
Yep. Wonderful. So, especially with the rise of AI in marketing, especially in social media, how does that affect a company like Innovision Marketing?
I love AI. I'm
Hmm.
always I'm very much into new technologies. I've always been interested in what's the new technologies in the
Hmm.
world. I used to dream about some of the things that I'm seeing now,
Hmm.
autonomous vehicles, answering your phone on your watch, seeing the pictures on these are things that I dreamt of when I was a kid that you
Right.
wish you'd see them on cartoons and you think, wow, wouldn't that be cool? Well, here
Yeah.
they are. They're
Yep.
here now.
Yep.
So, and I love that. As far as AI is a complicated and complex issue
Hmm.
in any business environment.
Right.
We are embracing it.
Hmm.
We're using it in every division. We use it
Hmm.
ethically. So if we ever use it and we let our clients know that we're going
Yep.
to be using it in some capacity, whether that's research, whether it's creation of formatting or helping us in our operations or
Hmm.
systems. Um, there's a lot of ways that AI, if used ethically, it can
Yes.
save you a lot of time. And
Hmm.
that's very valuable. Time is valuable to us. So we're using it to save time, to help us be more organized, to help us do a lot of research
Hmm.
that's done
Yes.
now much faster. And so I love AI. It's being used in our video production teams, our social media teams.
Hmm.
We use it everywhere. I don't know that anyone's going to be able to avoid using it because it's pretty much being integrated into every software platform now, into everything you see now has an AI integration, even
Hmm.
cars.
Yeah.
It's something that's here. And so I've always believed that if you don't get on the technology steamroller,
Yep.
you're going to be part of the road that runs you over.
Correct.
So I'd rather be on the steamroller than the road.
Yep. Got it.
Mhm.
So, do you think that AI could evolve to a position where it's replacing members of in your company or certain marketing professionals?
Well, without having a crystal ball, my
Hmm.
answer to that is there's always going to be a human element to what we do.
Hmm. Right.
But I've also read quite a few articles about the humanization of AI. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how good the reasoning is going to be
Hmm.
because the reasoning has to be even AI now. Your AI is only as good as your prompts.
Right.
So what you put in is what you're going to get out. So you
Hmm.
have to have some kind of human input. I also think that what we do is very much it's intellectual property, so it's
Hmm.
creativity. And while AI can pretend to be creative, it
Hmm.
really can only collect data and turn it into creativity, which is not really creativity.
Okay.
So there's a lot that goes into our business. But do I think it will help minimize some staffing, some like operational things? Yeah, I think
Hmm.
so.
Yeah.
Proofreading, trafficking, accounting. These are areas where I think AI is going to minimize, not replace, at least not now,
Hmm.
people. They're I would hate to see that because then what are people going to do then?
Yes.
What's going to happen? Where does the world go from there? So we have to be
Hmm.
careful with AI.
Correct.
I think we have to manage it responsibly
Hmm.
and be careful that the machines don't become too much smarter than us. I think they're already smarter than us,
Right.
but we just have to be careful that they don't develop too much personality and too much ego.
Yes, got it. So
Mhm.
let's deviate away from this AI topic and dive into a little bit more about skills that a high schooler might want to need. So if you're hiring a high school intern or someone just out of high school, what exactly would you be looking for? And what are skills that like a high schooler can develop that would help them get a job at Innovision?
Well, if you're going to talk about strictly Innovision, I cannot answer that question for any other
Okay.
company. We
Okay.
hire strict. We still hire strictly your on who you are as a person, your
Mm-hmm.
character, your personality.
Mm-hmm.
We look for people that have a very responsible approach to their life. We want people to come here not looking for a job. We
Mm-hmm.
want them to come here looking for a career, and we
Got it.
promise to deliver that for them. We will give people the opportunity to grow. Most of the people in our company, in fact, if not all of them, started at entry level and have been
Mm-hmm.
promoted into director, general manager, vice president roles, being here for many, many years,
Mm-hmm.
working here. So they've invested the time and they've been rewarded. So we're looking for people who have a very positive attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I would say what you want to learn in high school and in life, you want to learn social skills. You want to
Okay.
learn how to have a conversation and look someone in the eye. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be able to have facial expression when you talk to people. You want
Yes.
to be able to let people know you're engaged in the conversation and that
Mm-hmm.
you're interested in them. You want to be able to ask good questions. You want to be able to sound like you know what you're talking about. So you want to do your homework and you want to do your research,
Yes.
wherever career you're going to go into.
Mm-hmm.
The skill sets, I think you can learn those in school. So you're going to learn how to write, how to spell, how to put together strategies, how to look at certain theories, if it's an advertising or whatever industry you go into.
Mm-hmm.
But no one's gonna teach you other than yourself people skills. And it's people skills that are going to get you a job at our company because we
Yes.
want people that are excited to work here, enthusiastic, positive, willing to learn, understanding learning as a process,
Mm-hmm.
being patient, wanting to stay, and knowing that with some sacrifice, they're going to do really, really well.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So what are three soft skills would do you think it would come down to that matter most?
I would say your likability. Do people
Mm-hmm.
like you? Are
Yeah.
you, do people, um, the consistency of your personality? Do you always
Mm-hmm.
show up every day positive, happy, in the same mood? Because nobody wants to work with someone who has a different personality every day.
Right.
You know, someone who
Mm-hmm.
one day they're happy, the next day they're grumpy, the next day they're happy. It's very difficult to deal with people that are inconsistent. So consistency in your personality is critical. Your
Yeah.
likability is critical, and your responsibility, your ability to be responsible, show
Mm-hmm.
up, get the job done, do what
Got
you
it.
say you're going to do. Those three soft skills critical.
Got it. Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm.
So if a teen wants to test whether marketing is the right thing for them or even wants to see how to get into the field, so what would you say is something they should try this month or even try this week?
If they want to get into something that they would like to do, I would say, drive around, look at
Mm-hmm.
billboards, watch your digital television or however you consume your media,
Mm-hmm.
um, watch TV, and start to see if you can see some strategies
Right.
in what you're looking at. Why does the billboard say what it says? Is it effective? Does it work? Watch television commercials. Do they have impact? Are they moving you? Do they get you to do what they want you to do, or are they just falling flat? Start studying the advertising that you see out there, and if you become engaged with it, and you think you could do it or do it better,
Mm-hmm.
why? And asking why is really important. Ask why. Why does this ad written the way it's written? What are they trying to achieve here, and why? The why is going to get you to the strategy part of the whole thing. And I think that if you're looking to see if you'd be interested in that, I
Mm-hmm.
would say, understanding what they're trying to do and how they do it should be a good start.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Yes. So you're someone who has a personal brand of being very involved in your community, and you're actually part of a lot of organizations in your community as well to build the places around you. So how do you think teens can build a personal brand without sounding fake or forced?
Well, I think, your reasoning and why you do anything is going to determine whether it's fake or forced, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you
Right.
if you're if you're self-motivated and you're only doing things that are going to better you, smart people that are important, people that are successful, they're going to be able to see through that in a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to fall flat with them. If you're
Yes.
genuine, if you really care about what you do, if you align, if your personal beliefs and your personal brand aligns with the companies that maybe you want to work for,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to see that's genuine and honest. I think that, I always say there's three foundational elements to a great brand, and
Mm-hmm.
it applies to people and it applies to companies. And the first one is extraordinary communication. You have to be a great communicator. So you have to be constant, communicate to people in a way that lets them know what you're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
lets them know what you're going to be doing, lets them know that if you've told them you're going to do something, you keep them in touch, you keep them in the loop, you inform them regularly, you start to communicate with them on a regular basis. One of the things that I see young people making a mistake with is they think communication is just hitting send on an email or hitting a text and sending it.
Right.
Communication is two ways. unless someone replies to you with an
Mhm.
answer, you haven't communicated yet.
Right.
So
Right.
if you just send an email and you think you've communicated, that's not true. It
Yep.
could have gone to junk mail. Maybe it didn't get open. Maybe it didn't
Hmm.
get read. You have not communicated. You do
Correct.
not communicate until someone replies to you, and then you should reply back that you received that communication. And
Yes.
so that's what communication is, a constant ongoing process. And
Hmm.
so you have to become an extraordinary communicator. If you do that, you will achieve what I call the second layer of a great brand. People
Got
will start to trust you. Okay,
got it.
so you will develop trust because you're
Hmm.
communicating regularly with consistency and you're doing what you say you're going to do. If you communicate regularly and you say what you're going to do and you've established trust, people are
Hmm.
going to give you what everybody and every brand wants, and that's loyalty, right?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I always say the best thing you can do is compare this to a relationship. If
Hmm.
you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or
Right.
a best friend, if you call them all the time, they're going to be your friend. If you
Correct.
stop calling them, they're not going to be your friend. If you stop
Yep.
making contact with them, they forget about you and they find a new friend. It's the same thing in advertising. If you're not
Hmm.
you have to communicate regularly. If you do, people start to like you. You hang out. You say you're going to meet someone for dinner Friday night. You meet them for dinner. You show up on time. People start to trust that you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
Now you're developing trust. And if you do that consistently over a long time without failing, without ever saying you're going to do something and not doing it, they
Hmm.
will be loyal to you. And that's what
Got
you want in life, in personal relationships, in
it. Hmm.
best friend relationships, and in companies.
Yep. Got it. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So let's have like a lightning round of just like quick questions and you can answer in one sentences.
Okay. You got
So,
it.
what is one advice to your 17-year-old self?
Buy Apple shares, buy Apple stock.
Got it. So, what's one book that you think changed how you think? What's one book?
mm, Ogilvy on advertising.
Wait, what'd you say?
Called Ogilvy on Advertising. It's written by David Ogilvy, one of the
Okay,
pioneers of advertising. Ogilvy on Advertising.
got it.
Okay.
And what does success mean to you now?
Success to me means creating leaders in our company, me creating more leaders so that they can all be successful and have great lives.
Wonderful. Rick, thank you so much. That was real, honest, and packed with value that I know high school students are really going to enjoy. And to everyone listening, if this episode gave you a new perspective, share with a friend and go follow the show. And until next time, stay curious, take action, and carve your own path. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great. Enjoyed being here.